Hey everyone, welcome back to another Auto Alfred video. Today we are back with F1 2019 Career Mode. If you haven't seen last time's video, which is in Formula 2, I suggest you watch that one because there was loads of drama and yeah, at the end it was quite close with Devon Butler, who was my former F2 rival. But today we're not looking at F2, we are looking at the proper Formula 1. You may remember that I chose McLaren, the McLaren Academy, so that's the team that we're going to be with in F1. So, without further ado, let's finish this hot lap very quickly and get down to action in Melbourne, Australia. As you can see here, I have done all of the practice programs. I have not shown any footage of it, but if you want me to, let me know. So we're going to go head straight to qualifying.
We're just about ready to kick off today's qualifying here in Melbourne. It's the Australian Grand Prix. It always looked like the kind of track that asks an awful lot of the rear tyres, such as the frequency of low-speed exits.
Lots of low-speed exits means the rears are in for a lot of punishment. It's all too easy to spin them up coming out of a corner too aggressively. It might look great for us as spectators, as we love to see a car driven beyond its limits, but it's not going to result in a great long-run pace.
So here we are in qualifying. We're going to head out. First of all, here's my setup. I'm going to be running 8 kilos of fuel in the car. I've got 5/8 wings, and I didn't really mess around much with the rest of the stuff apart from the brakes, which I have on, I think, 57% towards the front. So, yeah, as you can see, Daniel Ricciardo's going out, but I'm going to be going out as well, as you can see right now.
Checks complete. All personnel be aware we have a car leaving.
Usually on the outlap, I like to have it on lean fuel mix and no ERS, just to just to save the fuel and save the battery for the actual lap. So in the outlap, I try to warm up the tyres, as you probably would like to do. But we're going to skip this outlap, fast forward to the actual qualifying lap. So here we are, rounding the penultimate corner. Activate the DRS. We've got maximum fuel mix and hot lap ERS deployment. Rounding turn 1. Using all of the curb on turn 2. Activating DRS again. 8th gear and changing down to 3rd for turn 3. 4th for turn 4, flat out in turn 5. You have to be really careful with that corner, because if you overdo it, you might spin out at that flat out corner. 7th gear on the way in, turn 9 I think, 3rd gear round. This bit I changed to 6th gear, clipped that second bits over there, little right, little bit of oversteer there, rounding the penultimate hairpin, the penultimate corner, which is a hairpin, that's what I meant. Rounding the final corner, activate the DRS again. I think I've run out of deployment, yep. Now the battery power is on, and that's up into P2.
Okay, you're in the top 10.
We're ahead of Valtteri Bottas in the Mercedes. Yeah, not bad for a McLaren, especially with the Renault engine, or Renault engine, that's what I meant. So now we're back in the garage, and yeah, we've been beaten by Charles Leclerc. And where's Valtteri Bottas? He's P11. Yep, Devon Butler's P9. Our former teammate in Formula 2, Lucas Weber, is in P4. Nearly forgot to mention that Lucas Weber is driving for Racing Point and Devon Butler is driving for Haas. So we're fast forwarding the time here, we're still third and dropping down to P5, I think. So that's Q1, we're through to Q2 and most likely through to Q3 as well, if we keep this pace. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn up the difficulty from 95 to 98. Maybe this will give us a bit more of a challenge, I suppose. Changing to the second set of soft tyres. I realised I forgot to use medium tyres. Usually I use that for Q1, but yeah, it doesn't really matter, I suppose, because you may not have seen it, but the race is going to be a wet race, so it doesn't really matter which dry tyres we use. Doing a flying lap. No point in turning it down to lean fuel mix and no ERS deployment, because obviously the AI does the first outlap for you. Anyway, we're flat out in around there, and we've got the DRS activated, obviously. We wouldn't, eh? Around the first corner, fourth gear, once again we use a lot of the second corner there. Lucas Weber has set the first lap, I think. Now Lewis Hamilton has gone the fastest. Yeah, Lando Norris is just in front of me on track there. Don't think he blocked me in the end, so that's fine. Braking very late into that corner, third gear, again, a little bit of oversteer on the exit. Changed to 8th gear before that corner. I don't usually do that, but yeah, didn't clip that second fast chicane there. I'm getting closer to Lando. I don't think he got in my way. He didn't. Rounding the penultimate corner, the hairpin again. DRS activated. Norris is already too far to pick up his slipstream, but anyway, that's us up
You're in the top 10
into
now. Keep it
P4.
up.
Well, we were P3, I think, but somebody pushed us down to P4, P5 now. Wait a minute, it says P4 again. Oh well.
The car settings screen on your multi-function display will allow you to change various settings as you drive. Open the display with the MFD button. You can then navigate up and down to the setting you want to change.
Anyway, qualifying 2's finished. It turns out we did finish P4. I thought that was a bit odd that we got pushed down to P5. Anyway, Devon Butler's out. Lucas Weber just about squeezes into Q3. And I decide to turn up the difficulty even more, up to 100. Out of 110, by the way. We're on the third set of soft. I But when I looked at the tyres, I only just realised that I forgot to use the mediums. But anyway, I believe we're going out for a lap. No, we're looking at the screen again. Yeah, I'm lowering the fuel mix. No, not fuel mix, the fuel load. So now we're going out for a flying lap. I realised that for some reason the AI, when they go out on the out lap, they don't seem to use much fuel, even though they have it on maximum revs, which is, maybe they don't have it on maximum revs, never mind. Anyway, we've gone round the hairpin, going through the last corner, DRS activated flat out into 8th gear. Round to 4th again, braking much later than I usually do. And DRS is activated at the end. We don't change it to 8th gear on that second DRS straight. Flat out through here again, changing into 7th, down to 4th for this corner. And down to 3rd with this round here. And we're going around the fast chicanes again, going in at 8th gear, changing down to 6th, clipping the corner quite a lot, but we get away with that. Oh, there's another DRS straight again, yeah, I forgot about that. Anyway, going a little bit wide around that corner before the hairpin, going around the hairpin and onto the main straight again. I went on the grass a bit there, that probably would have cost me time, and we're up into P2, ahead of Hamilton and Verstappen, and now we're down to P3 because of Vettel.
We have 2 laps of fuel remaining.
So now we're into the pits. And as you can see there, I was going to choose my tyre for my next run, which I did do, but I thought there was no point in showing you guys because I was slower than before. Just changing the fuel load again, P3 at the moment. Lando Norris is all the way down in P10, just behind Lucas Weber in the racing point.
We're 10th in the speed
that's because I was on my slowdown lap.
157.4 miles per hour.
That's why I'm last in the speed trap. Seems like nobody's actually out for a lap. So, yeah, I suppose I can just end this qualifying session. But I did do another lap. Turned out that lap was pointless. Anyway, the rest of the people did.
Qualifying complete,
the rest of the quick people did
today.
another
Vettel,
lap, so
Bottas,
that's
and
us
Lewis
down into
Hamilton.
P5.
Well, that wraps up
But
qualifying, but don't worry,
surprisingly,
we'll be
we
back
were actually
tomorrow as we
faster
head
than
into
Charles
the Grand
Leclerc,
Prix.
which is interesting, by 4/10 actually. Anyway, now it's time for the race. As I said, it's a wet one. Not like huge standing water, but we're going to be using the inters, not the wets, full wets, not the full wets. Going through the rivalry there, as you can see. I'm leading the rivalry against Lando, who is my rival because he's my teammate. Now we're collecting the resource points. And yeah, we've got loads of them, so we're going to spend those for upgrades on our car later on. More on that later, after the race.
All right, I think we can call that a
Yes, I think so
successful
too,
qualifying. We should
As you
be
can
in
see,
with a good chance in the race.
It's wet, but not huge standing water. It says it gets dry at the end, but we never got to use the dry tyres at the end. Strategy was anyway to use one set of inters for the whole race. So yeah, let's get into it.
New drivers, new cars, it's a new Formula One season. But it's the same Albert Park that we've come to know and love for more than 2 decades now that plays host to round 1 of a 21-race championship that takes us from here in Australia across the globe and the eventual season finale at the Yas Island circuit in Abu Dhabi. Once again, Anthony Davidson joins me for the race today, and it's a race where anything can happen as the rain is falling, grip and visibility is lacking. Could be something of a lottery out there, Ant.
Well, that's right. There's always an added element of unpredictability when there's standing water on the circuit. But one thing that might help him with the grip is a new softer compound full wet and intermediate tyre that Pirelli have developed for certain circuits. We'll be seeing these new tyres for the first time today, yet another unknown on an already unpredictable day.
Let's run you through the driver grid order
What
for
Anthony
today's
Davidson
exciting
said
race.
just there
Sebastian Vettel will
about the
start
new
on pole.
compounds of
Fantastic
wet tyres,
qualifying.
I actually
The
didn't know that
multiple world
myself.
champion and Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Verstappen and McLaren, and Leclerc, Perez, Albon, Norris and Lucas Faber, Ricciardo, Raikkonen, Devon Butler and Gasly, Hülkenberg, Kvyat, Roman Grosjean and Antonio Giovinazzi. Russell and Robert Kubica takes the last spot on the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
You managed to qualify better
Hey,
than we
Jeff.
expected yesterday, so let's
Here we
do
are
the
on
same
the
again
grid.
today.
Just looking at our strategy, like I said, we're not going to be making any pit stops in this 15-lap race. Setup, I've given 1 click more front downforce on because I figured that I might need that. Worked with the 2016 game. It always makes me faster with 1 click more downforce on the front. See if it works with the F1 2019 game. I've actually never,
So go into each one when you can.
I've never actually driven in the wet
Energy into them and
on
warm the tyres
F1
as well,
2019.
please.
It's the first time I've done it. As you can see, my tyres are literally like really cold. That's all I can say about that. Apparently the optimal temperature is about, can't remember, but it was about 70 to 80 or something. Front tyres are literally just over 50 degrees warm. So yeah, we're definitely getting those warm. Didn't overtake Alex Albon like I did with last time's F1 2020 video, where he didn't actually give me the where he didn't want the position back until we lined up for the grid. But anyway, we're going to no, we're not actually. Sorry, I was going to say that we were going to skip this formation lap. Yeah, I thought this already counted as light rain, that's why we're on the inters. Never mind. That's roughly the end of the formation lap now. We're reforming the grid. Sticking to the British motorway speed limit there. Just under 70 miles an hour. That's nice.
the lights. The start sequence will begin as soon as the grid has formed. Be ready with the clutch.
Okay, everybody's lined up, getting ready for the start. 5 red lights on. It's lights out, and away we are. My reaction times were pretty good that time. Got a good launch, quite a decent start. And I nearly ran into Lewis Hamilton just then. Now Perez is alongside me, turning down the engine for some reason, but still braked a little bit later than him, and I just about end up ahead of him. Used the back end a little bit there. Have to lift off with that corner in 5th gear. Can't go flat out around that corner in the rain. Seems like Perez somehow managed to get ahead of Charles Leclerc, who's down into P7, I think. So yeah, I'm still in the same position, P5, down into 5th gear for what was a fast chicane. Lose the back end a little bit there. And it looks like...
That start was okay, now stay alert for threats around you.
Thanks for interrupting me, Jeff. Anyway, as I was saying, it looks like we are exactly in the middle of Verstappen and Perez. So, yeah, quite a decent start, as Jeff said while he interrupted. When I first saw that we had about 0.4 extra laps of fuel in the tank, I thought that was a bit odd, because usually I run with 3 laps more fuel, because I find that this year's cars are much more fuel drinking. Is that the right way to say it? Anyway, so now we're on nearing the end of lap 2. Leclerc has managed to get ahead of Perez, and it looks like all of the top 6 drivers, as I slide there, as I was saying, it seems like all of the top 6 drivers each had a turn for the fastest lap that time. But anyway, end of lap 3, Charles Leclerc has managed to go ahead of me, and I tried to defend in the hairpin, but it seemed to work for a moment until he goes past me on the straight. I suppose that's Ferrari power versus Renault. In case you guys didn't know, this car has a Renault engine. Lose the back end on the exit of turn 2. Cut turn 2 a little bit as well. Into turn 3. Forgot to mention, Kimi Raikkonen has just said... No, Kimi Raikkonen didn't say anything. I'll say, it said that Kimi Raikkonen was out of session. The tyres are wearing quite quickly, already up to 15% wear on lap 4 out of 15.
Behind. Our gap behind is 2.2 seconds. They're on fresh inters. Their tyres are 3 laps old.
Seems like I'm not exactly
1 minute 38.
pulling away from Perez or getting closer to him by any chance. Anyway, we skipped to the final lap of the race, because for the entirety of the race there wasn't much excitement going on there.
To teammate behind is 7.1 seconds.
Yep, that's Jeff interrupting me again. As you can see, the tyres are really not in good condition. They're already up to 70% wear.
This should be stopping any time
I'm trying my best to stay in front of Alexander Albon. I think Charles Leclerc has gone ahead of Verstappen, and he's up into P4. As I get hit by Albon, Albon slows down, so do I. Got an exterior replay of that. Looks like I closed the door on him. Anyway, no damage done to either cars, I don't think. Hopefully not. I can't remember. But anyway, we're rounding the final corner. And yep, as you can see, weaving the wheel about in celebratory that we've finished P6.
Nice work, you did well today. I think the boss will be happy with that one.
So, another fantastic victory for the Silver Arrows. What do you think it was, Ant, that gave them the edge over the competition today?
Well, this was a real team victory. They put together a solid strategy today that appeared well suited to the conditions out on track. The driver did everything that was expected of them in the moment to really execute the team's plan to perfection, a shining example of how F1 really is a team sport.
And I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners today.
There you can see, Valtteri Bottas has won the Grand Prix.
So, let's review the drivers' standings. Valtteri Bottas passes his rival to take over the lead of the Drivers' Championship. Some amazing talent out on the track today. But Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
Definitely Antonio Giovinazzi, isn't it? No matter what the rest of the field threw at him, he didn't put a foot wrong. Superb drive from him.
Let's move on to the constructors. Mercedes moved to the top of the table. I'm equal parts exhausted and elated with this weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join
Lando
us
Norris
for the
finished
next one.
P9s, which puts McLaren 4th in the constructors' standings. Great result for McLaren. I hope the boss is happy with that. Devon Butler moves up into P11, Lucas Weber down into P12. So yeah, obviously Kimi Raikkonen DNF'd with a mechanical failure, not a crash. So now time for the interview, I think.
Amazing performance
Well,
out
I
there.
did lose a position,
I'm sure
but
you're pretty happy with that. You're breaking all
don't
expectations.
really have a
What's your
secret.
How do you feel the weather
Well, I
affected
just
the outcome today?
still carried on pushing hard, I suppose.
You left a lot of paint on the walls today. Were you struggling for grip, or did you just
Well, I suppose I
misjudge
was
some corners?
sliding around quite a lot.
Great. Well, that's everything.
Cool. Okay, now we're going to do some R&D, I think. But obviously we're going to see how many research and development points we get after this race, and see how the rivalry has gone. There you go, I'm still leading the rivalry over Lando Norris. I might up the difficulty for Bahrain, although I suppose Bahrain is a really strong track for the AI, so might just leave it how it is. We get an extra 200 resource points Or do I? We don't. We get more than that. But anyway,
Excellent result today.
so
Finishes
altogether
like
we
that will
have
look good on your
2,700
contract reviews.
points.
On to the next one.
Looks like one of your rivals has also been invited to a historical event. This could be a good opportunity to play up your rivalry for the press and expand your reputation. You're not the only driver to be hounded by the press. Emails like the one I've just sent you will give you an insight on how your former Formula 2 rivals are handling the press. Be sure to check your emails regularly, as I'll be sure to send you any of the more, let's say, interesting press
Anyway,
transcripts that come my way.
probably heard before, I will be doing the invitational event. You can read that interview transcript, you can just pause the video and have a look. But anyway, my next video will probably be the invitational event, sorry. Comment below if you want to see it, but yeah, you probably wouldn't. We'll be driving a classic car. It's going to be very short anyway, so let me know in the comments if you want to see it. I'll be doing the one that Norris is attending in Silverstone. But anyway, we're having a look at the R&D. The powertrain is not great. The Renault powertrain isn't the best. As you can see, we're at the bottom in terms of powertrains. So next thing to work on, I'd say is probably the downforce. So we're going to do some R&D on the rear downforce. Come on, zoom in. There we go. So yeah, we're doing a rear downforce upgrade. Of course, because I said in the interview just before that the car was sliding about, that has reduced the morale in terms of downforce stuff. So yeah, it's 520 resource points instead of 500, and I might as well just do the quality control stuff as well, because they might not be happy about what I said there. Still got 762 points left, so we might as well just spend that. I was going to do the wind tunnel efficiency, but that's 1,000 resource points. So we're going to just, I suppose we're going to do the front downforce just to balance out the front and the rear downforce. Once again, it's 551 instead of 530 resource points, and yeah, that'll be it, I suppose. All of those 4 upgrades will be coming for China, all those 4 minor upgrades. I think it'll make a major difference though. So yeah, I think that's it. Thank you guys for watching. If you made it this far, once again, very well done. And yeah, I'm going to leave you guys with the race highlights to watch. Next race will probably, sorry, not next race. Next race will be Bahrain. And my next video will be the invitational event. If you want to watch it, I'll make it anyway. So yeah, please subscribe to this channel if you enjoyed watching these videos, and like this video if you enjoyed watching this particular one. Like the rest of them if you like all of the other videos that I've made if you enjoyed them as well. And yeah, comment what you think about career mode, what you think about anything, I suppose.